race. I mean, it's our responsibility. It's our commitment. So they'll definitely be in that realm.
And along with that, the competitive realities for both teams have changed a little bit. You're out of it. Washington's in. Given that climate, are there some players who haven't played to this point in the season you would like to get a little more time to?
Yeah, I mean, lineup-wise, no, I'm not really ready to discuss that. We haven't even started our game plan process, so we're still collecting some data on a couple guys. But I think we're going to be in pretty good shape health-wise. So we'll know more tonight.
Mike Tarter with ESPN. We've asked about your job and your future in a variety of ways during the course of the season. How much do you want to be back? Do you have a chance to be a free agent in a way yourself?
Well, I think the biggest thing, Todd, is, and I do appreciate the opportunity to speak on it, but I've answered this question the same forever how many months now. So I think the focus, I need to make sure I'm doing exactly what I'm asking everybody else to do. So we need to finish the race. It's been a challenging year based on our contract situation for the coaches. I mean, it's stating the obvious, but we'll have time to talk about that next week.
Saad Yusuf, The Athletic. Mike, just how did Micah come out of the game? I know he was a little dinged up. Do you expect him to go this week?
I mean, so far, based off the the information I have now, I actually will head there. I have a 4:30 meeting with those guys.
And then just what did you see from the turnovers yesterday, both in terms of the offense and then also the defense not being able to take the ball away? Just when you guys were successful in the last 5 games, the turnover margin was near the top of the league.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we keep track of takeaway and giveaway opportunities. We had a few takeaway opportunities that we didn't convert. So we're still putting ourselves in position to take advantage of that. So. And really, the giveaways are disheartening. Frankly, I mean, they were giveaways. I mean, they were careless giveaways. So
you think?
And that's the hard part for us offensively because, we had a game plan, and the fact of running the football, staying a favorable down and distance. The third down was in the low 40, 42, 43% area. So it really came down to. Taking care of the football. If you'd have told me we'd been able to be above 30 rushes in a game, I would have told you we'll win the game. That's how I felt the game needed to go. We never really challenged them to play. They were able to play conservatively with their backup quarterback, and then with the turnovers and the points off the turnovers, they were able to play to their strength, and that's running the football. So. It was an opportunity that we obviously didn't take advantage of.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. What are your thoughts on some of your players saying we want you to come back next year?
No, I mean, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just a reflection of what we have here. I mean, it's a reflection of everybody talks about culture, and I'm not up here to give a bunch of buzzwords, but we do things the right way. I can attest to that. I've done this long enough to have a strong opinion to how to run a program, what's best for the players. The players are coached. They're coached with detail. There's demand there, accountability. So the basics are in place. But we're like nobody. We're like any other program. We need to get better. There's a number of areas we need to improve on. But that's what the off season's for. This is not the week to be getting into these discussions, but I think it's just really a reflection of what we have here in place. We have a coaching operation, we have a locker room, we have the things, within our realm that you need to win. And we had a number of challenges this year, and we didn't overcome them all. And that's why I'm standing here talking about not being in the playoffs. But I think we got a great group of men to work with. Stud vets. We brought vets in from other places more late than we've had in the past. It took them a little longer to get, everybody tied together. But I do think we have a young group of players that have played a lot of football. And my personal experience with that is that will pay dividends moving forward. So I think the future is bright, and we have a lot of things in place here. So we need to take a step back after next week, and obviously a lot of decisions got to make, a lot of business decisions got to be made because of our contract situation, and that's what we'll do.
Joe White, All City, Dallas. You guys had 4 total pressures. Do you attribute that mostly to?
I'm sorry, for what?
4 total pressures.
Okay.
Do you attribute that mostly to trying to stop Saquon and kind of that impact, or was production?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've answered the question. I mean, it's just how many times did they run the ball? I mean, it's that's the way the game went. And I think really goes back to my my answer about the turnovers. It took us in a direction down a path that we didn't want to go in, and then obviously we're not able to overcome it. So you get the ball and score there on that first drive, and then obviously the second drive, I think we're talking about maybe a different ball game. So they got to play with the lead, play out front. Their defense was not going to give us anything over the top. They were going to make us earn it, and we turned the ball over. So, and they benefited from and were able to run the ball for the majority of the second half.
Mike, Josh Tolentino, Lone Star Live. Yesterday, Tyler Smith said that he didn't sense anyone quit. And from your perspective, would you agree with that sentiment?
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that, we all were at the game. You saw the way the game started. That game was about one team took care of the ball and one team didn't. And that was the biggest swing in momentum, especially on the road. They converted points off of those turnovers. So, and they got to play to their strength through the whole second half.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Mike, Trey Lance got in a little bit at the end of the last game. Would you say that Week 18 is a great opportunity to start him, or is Cooper still the starter?
Well, I think all those decisions. I really like what Cooper's done. I think we all have to recognize the job that he's done to this point. So, but we're, this is the time you do think about, not only the quarterback positions, all positions. We want to make sure that, we do have information on our young players. Frankly, we probably have plenty because of how much they played. So, but yeah, we're not, we're not really looking, to answer those kind of questions right now. And so we'll talk about that moving forward. But I'd like to be in a position where everybody plays. I think that's would be practical. But how we make it happen, and how we put together the game plan, that's what we'll be doing here in the next 36 hours.
If Trey has to play, is he ready to play?
Trey's ready to play. Will's ready to play. I like our quarterback room. It's a really good room. Those guys are all sharp in the game plans. They've been, great teammates, assets, getting Cooper ready each week, just like Cooper did for Dak. So, the mode, the method, and the operation of it is definitely what you're looking for. I'm proud of the way that room works together. All 3 of those guys will be ready to play.
Austin Richards was designated to return, last week. Is this a guy? Do you think he has a chance to play this week?
Definitely. All these guys are. This is what we'll be talking about the next couple of days. We'll practice. In shells on Wednesday or helmets on Wednesday, shells on Thursday. So we'll see how we can work these guys in. The biggest thing is getting the 48 right. You try to get the reps right during the course of the week to get these guys play. But I'd like to see all these young guys play if it works out that way.
Okay. We asked you about playing all these guys. The other side of that is, after you put your game plan together, do you talk at all about players who are within certain milestones of if it works in the course of the game, let's make sure they get it, whether it's Parsons getting 10 sacks or a player getting a touchdown to tie, tie
definitely. That's something that, if there is a player in that situation, I've ran the ball or, have done those things in the past. Yeah, I'd be all for helping an individual get a personal milestone.
That it? Good. Thank you, Mike.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy addressing it, basically saying what Stephen Jones. It's not the time right now. We will evaluate it after the season's over, and the difficulty of all the contracts that are not there yet. So, yeah, that's what we got from Mike McCarthy. So, we're waiting on Micah Parsons. It's 5:01, and it says scheduled for 5. So we'll see that. Peace out.